Now, from the downtown of Northwest Arkansas, in Uptown Rogers, with weather from Bentonville to Fayetteville, Fort Smith, and beyond, here's Oz weather meteorologist, Garrett Lewis.
Well, it's June 10th on a quiet week of weather across most of Arkansas. In fact, most of the Central Plains. The two big weather stories this week are going to be a weak system that moves in tomorrow and then the return of the heat. Yeah, heat index will be pushing 100 by maybe as early as Thursday or Friday. Beyond that, there's another system around midweek next week that's going to be tropical from the Gulf. At least that's on the extended data. We'll see how that holds up. You know how that plays out over time. That could spew some moisture our way. If that happens, we'll get some rainfall around the middle of next week. In fact, I think the middle of next week might be our good chance of widespread rainfall. So until then, enjoy this amazing weather that we're seeing out there. Beautiful out there today, isn't it? It's going to be a calm weather week. We deserve it after all of the wild weather that we've had over the last couple of days. Looking live from Embassy, everything nice and green as we head into mid-June. It's great. Hopefully, we can keep it that way. Don't have to deal with any burn bans as we move into July 4th. But there's no rainfall out there, at least as of right now. Next chance of rain, as I alluded to, is going to be, well, widespread rain will be next week, but a stray shower is possible as the heat and humidity warm up later on this week. That's that pop-up stuff that tends to happen out in the summertime. You're also going to see an increase in cloud cover. You can see some high clouds that are out there already. Matter of fact, if I go back to the camera, if you look towards the top there, you can see some high clouds. That's actually coming from a system that's out there in western Texas and in parts of New Mexico, spinning some of those clouds our way. We're going to see a system dive into the area coming up Tuesday, so you'll see a few more clouds heading into tomorrow, but overall the risk of there's no risk of anything. I guess a sunburn, right? So we get close to summer solstice, the sun angle is super duper high, so you'll get burned pretty quick. But no storms out there for us as we go through Tuesday, just a few more clouds. This is the upper level wind pattern. I wanted to show you this and kind of talk about what's happening. So this is where we are now as we head into Monday, but watch real close. See, look at this low that's down there, the one we were just looking at around western Texas. That thing opens up and moves east, and it moves east really slow. So it's a real weak system that moves across Arkansas. Arkansas is right here, just above level there on the text. And so there's not much that takes place. As we move into the next week or so, we really don't have a lot. Now, we're still in this northwest flow, so that's interesting. It's always good to watch whatever happens up here because it could be dumped our way. But overall, when you see this clockwise spin, just like this across southwest, that clockwise spin is indicative of a building southwest high pressure ridge, which pretty much shuts down the active weather and brings summertime weather. See those upper level winds up there in Canada? That's what you need for severe weather. They're not around at all. Matter of fact, we enjoy that ridging pattern through Friday and then getting into Saturday, even into Sunday. There's a little trough that's out here on Saturday that'll be interesting to watch. I think it stays just to the west, though, for us and then moves to the north. You can see it lifting up through here, but it does drag a weak front into central Oklahoma. This is somewhere around Sunday into Monday of next week, so we may see a few clouds increase, maybe a few stray afternoon showers during the late afternoon on our Sunday. But the whole point in showing this is that the upper level wind pattern is just not there, right? I mean, there's not really anything that we're looking at in terms of a big system that would bring us widespread rainfall and severe weather. The upper level winds are to the north. Notice the low pressure in central Oklahoma. That's that upper level low that moves through. That will cause what we call diurnal convection, or the afternoon thunderstorms, those pop-up storms that tend to occur between about 3 and 7 o'clock in the evening. So that becomes more possible by Sunday and Monday of next week. Now, what I wanted to really show you was this down around the Gulf. So I was looking at some of the model data this morning. There's an area of low pressure around the middle to latter half of next week that's moving north in the Gulf of Mexico, and that's going to push a lot of humidity and moisture up our way, and it could cause some rainfall towards the middle and end of next week. That would be widespread rain. You know how tropical storm forecasting is. You can't call it right 5 days out. Certainly can't call it right over a week and a half out. This will change, but it bears watching for two reasons. Number one, if you have plans next week, the middle to latter half of the week could be affected by rain. And number two, if you're headed down to the Gulf Coast states, it's going to be a washout second half of the week should this forecast pan out. So that's something to watch for us. And I thought I'd take a look too at these 2024 hurricane names. If any of these storms get named, let's assume this one gets named. It would be Alberto. They reuse them unless they retire them, and that goes all the way to William. So those are the tropical cyclone names, not necessarily hurricane names because they can name the tropical systems too, but that's the tropical cyclone names for 2024. Hopefully we don't get off to that early of a start dealing with tropical systems in June, but hey, it's happened before and it can happen again. It's forecast to be an above normal hurricane season. So that's the weather forecast. A calm week for us this week. few more clouds on Tuesday, some pop up showers late weekend around Sunday or so, and then we'll keep an eye on the middle of next week for some widespread rain, watching the Gulf for a tropical system. Enjoy your evening.